Hello and welcome to Section 6, Structuring Ansible Playbooks, where we start with the first video, using includes and imports. In this section, we start by looking at how we can use includes and imports. We then look at how we can use tags. And then we take the knowledge that we've learned in other sections and we learn how we can actually translate our existing efforts to Ansible roles. Please join me in the first video of this section, using includes and imports. In this video, we're going to take a look at the various ways in which we can use includes and imports. We're going to look at include tasks, import tasks. We'll see the difference between static and dynamic, and we'll also look at import playbook. Please join me in revision 1 of the following directory. The Ansible engine provides directives that we can use for bundling tasks and even playbooks into separate files. You might have a good reason to do this. Say, for example, you're installing a variety of packages as prerequisites for a playbook. These could go into a separate file that you include in your main playbook. If we do an ls here, and we take a look at our playbook, you can see in this example that we're specifying an include tasks against another YAML file, which looks like the following. Quite simply, it's using the debug module to output a message. If we run this, we can verify that it's including and executing the content from another playbook. Okay, great. And you can actually see there you've got a message telling us it's included these tasks, and we can see the output from that particular reference. Let's go into revision 2. And I want you to take a look at the import underscore tasks underscore playbook. Okay, so apart from the import underscore and the include underscore, these appear identical. And if we run this, the output almost appears to be identical. Whilst it looks the same, there is a major difference here. All import statements are pre-processed at the time playbooks are passed. This is what we actually see there on the left, which is static behavior. All include statements are processed as they are encountered during the execution of the playbook. And again, this is the dynamic clause that you actually see there on the right. This is most noticeable when you're actually using the when statement. This is a lot easier to visualize when you see it in action. So, step into revision 3. And if you bring up the following playbook, we've simplified this example to just one of our hosts. In both cases, you can see here that the include or the import only takes place when the specified variable is not defined. We don't have this variable declared in the playbook, and it's not supplied as a variable in the places we'd expect. If we look at the include and import tasks associated with this, they are the same, with the variance in the variable name that is being set as the first task. Let's take a quick look at include underscore tasks. And let's take a look at import underscore tasks. Very similar. In both cases, we're using the set underscore fact to declare the variable that we're referencing. So you can see in the include tasks, we're setting include underscore tasks underscore var, and in the import variation, we're setting the variable import underscore tasks underscore var. If we just bring back up the playbook again, just to recap, our when statement in the playbook means that we will run this when this variable is not set. So you'd expect that as soon as it executes the first task, the others will not be executed. This is where include being dynamic and import being static differ. Let's run the playbook and see what happens. We can see here that the include underscore tasks executed the second and the third task. The first task was skipped because the variable would have been set at this point. Include underscore tasks being dynamic is processed only once at the time of execution. So at this point, it's checking if the variable isn't defined, and it's then running all tasks regardless of how the state changes during play. With import underscore tasks being static, we're executing at the point of time, and thus every individual task in the import is compared against the when statement. So when the first task runs, this sets the variable, and because of this, when it loops to make the next comparison, the variable is defined and these subsequent tasks no longer meet the when condition. As well as the inclusion of tasks, we can also leverage functionality to import playbooks. Let's take a look at revision 4. You'll notice here that this playbook differs to all of our others as we have no hosts or task defined. The play, indicated by the dash, goes straight into the import underscore playbook declaration. Import playbook is static, and as a result, like we saw with import underscore tasks, each task will independently execute against the when condition. Here, we're repeating the same process as we carried out in the previous example, where we set a variable in the first task, therefore disabling subsequent tasks. As per the import underscore tasks, we can see it skipped the debug message. So, this gives a good overview about options for include and importing tasks, import playbook functionality, and the differences between static and dynamic behavior. Please join me in the next video using tags.